I got the horse right here, the name is Paul Revere, and here's a guy that says if the weather's clear, can do.
Hello, racing fans, and welcome back to another edition of Handicapper's Corner, brought to you by the Derby Bar and Grill. I'm Mike Heads, along with Drew Forster. We're going to go through the Sunday, May the 12th races at Hastings. We do have 8 races on tap, starting at 150. A couple of good allowance races as co-features. It's going to be a good day. We have an excellent card assembly.
Yeah, very good card. Sunday's obviously a big day for us. Hopefully we can keep it rolling. Great cards last weekend, great handle. And looks like we could do the same here on Sunday, as Mike mentioned. 8 races. We do kick it off with a $4,000 claimant event for 3 and up Colts and Geldings. Now one is a 3 lifetime, going 6 furlongs, field of 6. I had trouble with this race, Mike.
Me too.
I went to the one, good as they get, out of the Mel Snow Barn. He's as good as anybody in here. Ran some good races at this level last year, just behind Great Blake, El Diamante. Mel's horses are off to a good start, in light with Leary Seashroud. I'll take good as they get on top of the 4 Footman. He's changed barns again. But he's a horse that's usually quite competitive at the $4,000 level, and he's been working well into this. A nice 48 back on April 19th. Keyshawn Belgobin, who will be back in the tack this weekend, does ride the 4 Footman. And I threw in Harold's horse Cash Hit. This guy's been working really good. Nice final work in 1 minute and 4/5. More of a distance horse, but that work kind of caught my eye in a race where I had trouble grabbing a horse. So I went 1, 4, and 6.
I went to the 3 El Diamante. It's a race where you can make a case for it, obviously anybody. El Diamante has some speed. He's run well fresh in the past, and I didn't see a lot of speed in this race other than the 5-horse Fighter Heart, who I do have in the second spot. But I thought 3 and 5 with your horses in here, and the 1 is probably the best horse, good as they get. But just lack of speed, going 6 furlongs might be a detriment to him, and that's maybe why he may run second or third, but I had him in for third. And I'm going to try El Diamante off the really good work tab for Deirdre Bell. Had a nice winner with Transplant on opening weekend. 3-5-1. On to the second race, $8,000 numbers at 3 lifetime for fillies and mares, going 6. The 4-horse Notice, I thought, it was a pretty consistent filly last year and showed good speed in most of her races. Gets herself in position. It's in light with an apprentice, Lenny Citroen, and the work tab's been good for trainer John Snow, so let's try. I was going to try a Notice, but once again another tough, difficult race. I went to the 1 Sweet 16, who broke her maiden for 25, came back to win for 12-5, and she's pretty dangerous out there on the front end as well. Ran into her stablemate Under Par in her final start last year, which was just a little too much. Under Par actually ran second in the opening day. Big House Bell Stakes behind Good Luck to You. And Sweet 16's in a lot better spot. And I put the 5-horse Cape Light in for third. She has some ability. Kind of had an abbreviated campaign. This is the one run as a 2-year-old. It started off late in June, which is really difficult for any horse, to start off that late in the year in June, and kind of playing catch up when you're running against horses that have had 2 and 3 starts. And so I thought her final start last year was a courageous effort. Obviously got hurt and missed the rest of the season, but her work has been good for one of our top trainers, Craig McPherson. So I put that one in the mix. I had a lot of trouble with this race. I went 4, 1, 5.
Yeah, it's another one you can make a case for everybody. I went to Mark's horse, Sweet 16. Mark Cluche's horse is off to a very good start this year. Everything he leads over there was running very well on opening weekend. Amadeo Perez, of course, red hot right now. Just to feel like fired first out last year in a 3-year-old year in a maiden 25. Sweet 16 for me on top. I put Bear in the second spot. Good campaign for last year. Another one, first out, won a maiden special weight against Dory's Darlin, who was next out winner. Third behind Under Par, second behind Under Par, and now moves to the Phil Hall barn. 8,000 I don't think is out of her range. I think she's going to be very live in here. I put Bear in second. I put Rain or Shine for our good friend Ken Johnson, Keith Peterson. Keith's off to a good start. His horses were running very well as
he had 2 winners last week. Whiskey Bound in Silvertown.
Yeah, Silvertown, of course. And Scott Williams aboard. He's off to a good start, too. So, yeah, in a 6-horse field, we pretty much cover them all. I went 1, 3, and 2. This is a tough one. 1, 3, and 2 for me. In the second, on to the third, maiden 25 for 3 and up, 6 furlongs, field of 6. I went to the 5 Jack's Rain, fit horse, coming out of, pretty tough races. There were state bred races, but they're still tough races down in Santa Anita. a maiden 50 and a maiden special weight. A good second behind Finally Classy. The one time this guy ran here last year in a maiden special weight. Has some winter racing, been working well, attracts Amadeo Perez. Amadeo and Rob Gilker are always very tough together. For me, Jack's Rain on top. I like him a lot in here. I put Mosley in the second spot, another Dino Firster. For the Swift Thoroughbreds, we've talked about those guys off to a very good start. Nice long work tab. Gets Antonio Reyes. Mosley for me in the second spot. And I put Doobie, one of the Rob Mabin. Rob's got 2 in here. I was disappointed with Troupon Online last week for Maiden 16, so I'm going to stay away from him. But I did put Doobie. Just the one start last year. I like the fact that he had a start. Nice final work in 1:14 and 3 for Rob Mabin. 5, 2, and 4 for me.
Yeah, I agree with the 5-horse Jack's Rain. This horse looks like the speed of the race.
Yeah, it looks live.
Has winter racing. Those are tough races that he was in.
Yeah.
I don't know the Calbred races, but he's getting challenged hard. And then he was on turf last time, so obviously he didn't care for the grass, and has been sent up north. And good work here since arriving in Hastings in 48 and 1. I like Jack's Rain and the hot Amadeo Perez. For Rob Gilker, I put 3-horse Demerara in for second. Good work tab. 4-year-old against younger horses.
Yeah.
That's a big plus. This horse showed nothing in his debut at Delaware Park, but this horse has been privately purchased, and work tab is good. Definitely worth a look. And I put the 2-horse Mosley. I agree with Dino's runner. Pop Artist had a good mare, Storm Farcast, who's given us a bunch of nice runners. 5-3-2 for me in the third. Fourth race is a maiden 8 for fillies and mares, going 6 furlongs. I went to the 3-horse Battle of Eras. Got hung on the alsos last week for 4, but looked like he would have won that race, or she would have won that race for 4. But they're going to offer her for 8,000 today. Looks like she's got speed. That's enough for me. She looks like the inside speed going 6, and I'm going to try that one to win it. But the 5-horse Dirtle Door in for second. Another one with speed, been running at Woodbine. Work tab's excellent. And for trainer Ryan Deot, I put the 7-horse Bequest, who also ran last week in that $4,000 race. Good second that day behind Exorbitant. But once again, I left out Snappy Ginger. I left out Ruby with Diamonds. There's some interesting horses in here. But I really like Battle of Eras. I think that's the horse. I think that's the key.
Yeah.
The rest are battling, I think, for second. I went 3-5-7.
I agree. Missed as you mentioned, on the also eligibles last week for 4. Yeah. This 8 does not look considerably tougher.
No.
So
4 was easy, but this is like just as easy.
Yeah, I'm with you. Oliver Battle of Arras for Glenn Todd, Denny Velasquez. I did put Snappy Ginger for second.
Yeah, I left over.
Well backed, 3-1 in the maiden special weight last week. So good enough for me. I'll take a shot for Bill McLaren. Snappy Ginger for second. And I threw in She's Irish for Christina Mann, the Sapphire Stables. A Daughter of Shrug at a Pretty Maid. Pretty Maid was quick. And attracts Amadeo Perez.
Shauna Ferguson.
Shauna had Pretty Maid. She was fast. So I like the fact Amadeo takes the call, too. That's a big bonus. So I went 3, 1, and 6 in the fourth. On to the fifth. Non-3 allowance for 3 and 4-year-olds. Good race here. I went to the Glenn Todd horse, number 1, Proof It. Ran very good here last year. He'd been running at Turf Paradise, came up here, won his first race, 3rd behind Panhandle, Smart Deal. Only beat a couple lengths behind Brave Nation and Smart Deal. 2nd in his last start, led the whole way, got caught by his stablemate Panhandle. Panhandle, of course, came back to win the Swift inaugural last weekend. Works look good, live barn, 58 and 4. How about that here at Hastings?
Yeah, that's a cool work. I watched the work.
You're working 58-4. You don't even get the bullet. Didn't even get the bullet for that. 2nd out of 40.
Stablemate got it.
Yeah, I think so. Proof It for me on top.
Hanson's Victory or something.
I'm totally going against Mike's handicapping style here. I'm going to take Golden Moment for second. Mike hates taking 3-year-olds against 4-year-olds. This time of year.
Well,
it's a good argument.
That's a nice horse.
It's a good argument. But yeah, this horse looks very good. Son of Golden Sense. First out last year, go 3 off, won by 5 as the favorite. Got a good number. Working forwardly for this. Again, Amadeo Perez aboard. I got Golden Moment in for second. And I threw an Optic, the Steve Bryant horse. Just the one start at Hastings here last year in a similar type allowance race. And made no mistake. Won comfortably under Aaron Grider. Nice work in 59 and 4 leading into this. Another horse that looks like he has a fair bit of talent. 1, 5, and 6 for me.
Yeah, I agree with the 1. Proof It looks, he's a nice sprinter. Really good. 6 furlongs is the perfect trip for him. Got a nice draw,
Yeah.
got everything
Yeah.
going his way.
All systems
Excellent
go.
work tab. 2-horse El Noble, I thought was the next best horse.
I
He was
left
kind of a
him
derby
out.
horse last year. Milton Palmer did a great job with this
Yeah, he
horse.
did.
This horse was like overlooked, and then all of a sudden won a maiden race going a mile and 16th, and
That was the thing.
earned his way into the Derby.
Yeah, he started going long. That's when he
got
really
unlucky.
blossomed. Yeah.
He got unlucky not to be better in the Derby.
Yeah, he ran a
and
huge
even
race
the
in the
Derby
Derby.
trial.
Yeah.
And then ran it in an allowance race at the end of the year. But the horse didn't get a good trip that day. But he's a good sprinter as
been
well.
working right along,
El
yeah.
Noble, I thought was, and the 6, as you mentioned, Optic. Very live. Just the one run here at Hastings last year. Went to the sidelines after that impressive win over European and Mighty Mick. But he's been training well for Steve Bryan, who can definitely have horses ready. He's one of our top trainers. I went 1, 2, and 6 in race number 5. Under the 6th race, $16,000 non-3 lifetime for 3 and up, going 6 panels. The 6 horse, the chances are, always seems to get a little late in the 6.5 furlong races. So, because he got a very good turn of foot early, chases hot paces, and just gets caught late. 6 furlongs, I'm hoping he shouldn't get caught.
Yeah.
I'm going to try him to defeat the 4-horse Imposing Cat, who's going to be dangerous at the $16,000 level. Pardon me. And another one that's been training really well. Look at those works. It's been eye-catching throughout. Patty Leany's had a couple of, doesn't have a win yet, but all
all been
our
running
horses
very
have
good,
run
yeah.
huge. Warriors Promise ran a great second behind Summerland. Her horses are ready.
Yeah.
And Imposing Cat, I thought was going to be a 4. So I put the 7-horse Red Hot Rio for Rob Maben. Another one freshened up, and a horse that's run some good races at Churchill and beginning of last year, and being freshened up might be a little live in here. But I know I've left out Ezekiel, Master Ewan, European, all quality horses. Another Guinness is another neat horse, and next Otis is a 4-year-old, pardon me, that has speed and brioso. I don't know much about the horse, but he's been campaigning down south and has winter fitness. It's a tough race.
It is a tough race.
I went 6-4.
I have different horses. That shows.
Not surprising.
Yeah, that
it's
shows
that kind of race.
How tough it is. I went to Mark Luce. Everything Mark has led over this year has run lights out, I thought. And Next Otis is a horse that fired fresh, first off the bench last year, won a maiden 25, came right back to win allowance race over Ezekiel and give me some slack. Had a good year last year, is training forwardly for this. Amadeo Perez, Mark Luce, top connections. I'm going to go with Next Otis. On top of European, another one, his first race last year, a non-2 allowance, got beat a half after strict lead by Boundary Bay. Then he was a Weekend Wizard, 3rd behind Proofit and R.W. Stanley. 3 starts going 6 furlongs. He's got 2 seconds and a third. So this is a horse never missed the board sprinting, working well. Final work in 47-1 at Trax Hamill. European in for second, and I do put Brioso, the Brian Kozak horse. Broke his maiden for 25 at Santa Anita back on the 7th of February. Most recently, second in a 12-5 non-2 at Golden Gate. He's got the winter racing, and not crazy about the post position, but he's got the winter racing. Reyes rides him, and that could, maybe put him a little bit ahead of some of these. Right. I went 8, 3, and 9 in the 6th. On to the 7th. $75,000 claimant event for 3.
You don't see those every day. 75 grand.
AP Zona's in for the 67.5. A few of those in there.
On sale.
On sale. Field of 7 going 6 furlongs. I went to the 4. He's the reason. I know that Glenn's been really high on the way this horse has been training this year. You look at his record. What is he? 6 of 8 lifetime in the money. One of them was a 4th where he just got beat a nose by and stalemate Proofit for 3rd. He's a quality horse. He's a big, strong son of the Factor. As I mentioned, training lights out. I think he's the reason it's going to be very tough in here. I got him on top of Straight Remark. Another really cool horse out of the Craig McPherson barn. Just shows up every time. It went down to Emerald and ran big down there. Out of Century Downs.
Right.
You can take him everywhere. And I think he fits well in here too under Hamill. Straight Remark. And I put AP Zona. Came up here last year, had been winter raced, or 2 years ago, sorry. Won the Jim Coleman Province. I think he might be better going long, but he can sprint. Won the Province and the River Rock Casino. He's been off a year, but Phil Hall, very good off a layoff, 21%. And tracks Enrique Gonzalez, who was aboard all of his races a couple years ago when he did run here, and I could see him firing fresh off the bench. 4, 3, and 1 for me.
Yeah, I went to the 3-horse Straight Remark. I thought
Yeah.
This horse has been training well, good speed. It looks like the inside speed in this field. It's not a lot of, well, I guess the 2-horse League of Shadows is fast. Didn't break well in the Swift inaugural last weekend and was kind of on heels and tracked, and then it didn't fare well. But Scott Williams will be aboard, and this horse will show more speed. But I thought Straight Remark, I know he did milk the sales stakes conditions in his 2 of his last 3 starts, one at Emerald and one at Century and one at Hastings. But still a real quality horse. He's fast.
Anytime you're just below the stakes,
speed.
I mean sales stakes, but anytime you're just below stakes, he's always very tough.
Yeah. And he's just trained beautifully for Craig. I've watched him in the mornings. He's got a nice way of going, and he looks the part. Anyway, I put him on top of the 4. He's the reason. You mentioned all the good qualities about the horse. He's a good, solid horse.
Yeah.
And the 5-horse, the All Button I put in. I know his last 3 races were dreadful. But he's been freshened up since last year at Century Downs. He, too, has been working very well. A series of 5/8s and that are all good. And Keyshawn
How can you not love the All Button?
The All Button is great.
Love
3,
the
4,
All Button.
5 in a very difficult and a very classy 7th race. On to the 8th and final. We got 25,000 or 3-year-olds here going 6.5 furlongs. Field of 6 signed on. We got 5 colts and geldings and 1 filly. Poor girl drew the outside, Harlan's Angel. But I went to the 3-horse Vintage Man. Looks like the speed of the party. And going to be tough to catch. Another one working well. Barnes Hot. Let's go with this one. 5-horse, the hybrid. Winter raced and good work since coming back here to Hastings. This horse should get a good, reasonable chance to win the race. And I put the 1-horse Aldergrove in for 3rd. Closed out the season with blinkers on and a nice win, and been training well for a top outfit as well. I thought the Vintage Man was the best, and then I went hybrid 3-5-1.
I agree with Vintage Man. I think he'll be a handful in here, working well. Top outfit. I agree with you, everything you said. I got Vintage Man on top.
Diamond I missed.
I put New Diamond in second.
I missed that one.
He's a closing sprinter, and that could work well in his favor here.
Yep.
Aldergrove's got speed. Vintage Man has speed. The hybrid's got speed. Horse is shown speed.
Pretty quick. It could be a wild.
Harlan's Angel. There could be quite a bit of speed in there. I think it could set up well for New Diamond. I got him in the 2nd spot, and I agree with the hybrid, a horse that's been winter raced. That's a big advantage. We saw it opening weekend. We see it every year. Horses that have been running other places come in here, race fit, and it's tough. It makes a big difference. 3, 2, and 5 for me in the nightcap. That'll do it for our analysis of the Sunday card. Up next on screen will be our picks. Mike, as always, you're going to be up
back
first.
in race number 1. I went to the 3, El Diamante, 3-5-1. Race number 2, I went to the 4, A Notice, going to go 4, 1, and 5. Race number 3, I went to the 5, Jack's Rain, over the 3 and 2. Race number 4, I went to the 3, Battle of Eris, over the 5 and 7. Race number 5, I went to the 1, Proof It, going to go 1, 2, and 6. Race number 6, Tuffy. I went to the 6. The chances are 6, 4, 7. Race number 7, another difficult allowance or high claiming race. I went to the 3, Straight Remark, over the 4 and 5. And the finale, I went to the 3, Vintage Man, over the 5 and 1.
On to my picks, back in the 1st, I went to the 1, Good As They Get, over the 4 and the 6. In the 2nd, I went to the 1 again, Sweet 16, over the 3 and the 2. In the 3rd, might be my best bet of the day here, number 5, Jack's Rain, over the 2 and the 4. In the 4th, well, maybe my best bet, number 3, Battle of Arras, over the 1 and the 6. In the 5th, I like Proof It, the 1, over the 5 and the 6. In the 6th, I went to the 8, Next Otis, over the 3 and the 9. In the 7th, I went to the 4, He's the Reason, over the 3 and the 1. And in the nightcap, I agree with Mike on number 3, Vintage Man, over the 3 and the 2. Last week, I don't think I picked Glenn Todd to win 1, and he won 3 on opening day. So I'm not making that mistake again this weekend.
We're all jumping on board.
We're all jumping on board. I got 4. I got to pick to win 4 on Sunday.
Well, thanks everyone for tuning in to Handicapper's Corner, the Sunday, May the 12th edition. Good luck in all your wagers on the Sunday. Actually, all weekend. Hopefully you enjoy it. Lots of fun going on. Don't forget, next weekend we do race Saturday, May the 18th, which is Preakness Day, which will feature Peter Redekop's Another Twist of Fate, who will be ridden by Jose Ortiz, which is an interesting note. Jose Ortiz, now the new rider on Another Twist of Fate for our own local owner, Peter Redekop, and trainer Blaine Wright. That should be a lot of fun. And, of course, then we don't race Sunday. We race the holiday Monday. Victoria Day, and we will have another big card for you. So we run Saturday, Monday next weekend. So that's the upcoming schedule. Of course, simulcasting every day. But on behalf of Drew, thanks everyone for tuning in to Handicapper's Corner. We'll see you next week here at the Derby Bar and Grill.
I got the horse right here, the name is Paul Revere, and here's a guy that says if the weather's clear, can do.